Yo, 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 welcome back, man. This is week 5 of the Unplugged podcast. I am your host, KB.
You know what I'm saying? It's Soze.
Yes, sir.
One of them ones.
You know what I
Mr.
mean?
One of them ones.
One of them
You know what I'm
ones.
saying? My other co-host.
Hey, y'all know what it is. It's Prince Vash, everybody. Anime god, fashion god,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
music legend.
And then
Music
Jeez.
legend.
KB,
So
tell
much.
Tell them a little bit about the guest we got with us.
So tonight we have a special guest who just so happens to be the creator of the company y'all know now as Streamhouse. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
How y'all doing? I'm James Davery. I am the CEO. I am the owner of Streamhouse.
Yes,
Hey.
sir. Talk that shit,
Let's
baby.
go,
Let's
let's
go.
go.
But do you have business cards?
But do I have business cards?
Gotta get you some business.
Gotta
cards.
get you some business cards.
I ran out actually. I ran
Oh,
out
you
of my
ran
business
out.
cards.
There
I
you
done
go.
handed them off to too many
Oh,
people.
too many people,
So I
right.
gotta get some reprinted,
okay.
but I will get you one
That's
as
totally
soon as possible.
That's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Networking.
We'll hand them out. But yeah, we're gonna get into how we kind of got this thing started and built from the ground up. We'll do that a little bit later. But in the meantime, man, how we y'all doing, man? How was our week? What's up? You know what I'm saying? Fist
What's up,
bump,
baby?
fist
What's
bump.
up, baby?
How we doing? How we
What's
doing?
up, man? Chilling, man. It's been a good week.
Real quick before we get started, I just want to say, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, also known as the Black Panther.
Major.
His influence.
Wakanda
Major,
forever.
bro.
Wakanda
100%.
forever.
Fuck cancer.
It caught me by
Facts.
surprise, bro. Like
I mean, all deaths are a surprise, but
It
that
is,
one,
it
that
is.
one hit me so different
And it's-
because it was so out of nowhere.
it was.
It's just
It was. And I feel like that.
not him.
Like that was the least. Like I didn't expect that. Like next to Kobe, obviously, like that was unexpected.
That was
you know
already
what
a
I mean?
tragedy.
I mean, cancer takes people way too early. It takes like
Yeah.
I mean, it's been taking way too many people, and just to see like such an icon and such a like influencer of the community and like
Correct.
such a huge person that is like a superhero to a lot of like black kids that it's like, and me too. Like I fucking hate cancer, dude. So to
Yeah.
watch like such an icon just like to get
Go
taken
so
way
soon.
too early
Yeah.
is one of the most saddest things that could ever happen.
There a few months back, he posted a video about his Jackie Robinson movie, I believe, because he had the 42 hat on. He looked like like he had
He
lost
was
some
really
weight, and people on
skinny.
the
Yeah.
internet
He
were
was
kind of
really
like
skinny.
like clowning him for it or like worried or either saying that he was playing or like he was getting in shape or lack thereof for
Sure.
for a movie role. And turns out that that wasn't the case at all. And
I think that's the craziest thing about it is like in this like information age where
Right.
like really it's hard to keep anything secret for any amount of time. Period.
Oh yeah,
Like,
especially as a celebrity.
It's so many internet detectives and shit out there. So
That's
for like
true.
for him to film major like movies, like blockbuster movies,
Right.
including superhero
Majors.
movies,
He was about to
like
do all another one.
action-packed stuff, like physically demanding like roles and stuff. For him to do all of that
that
while fighting that fight, and then like just also like keeping it away from the world, like that's a lot of strength.
power to you,
That's
man.
a lot of
Um,
strength.
And he
Before
was,
we-
and he had it since he was like what, 16?
well since 2016.
And I'm sure there was a small circle that knew, of course.
Yeah, but
like,
one thing I kind of respect about it is that like his estate, they were the ones to announce it. Like we didn't hear it first from like TMZ or another news outlet.
Mhm.
His estate was the one that kind of came out and clarified it. But before we move on, I just kind of want to give a quick 15-second moment of silence for the man. But yeah, man, that's tough. But
That's heavy. And
It's
like
heavy.
so as somebody who has watched somebody go through cancer and stuff like that, it's not easy ever. It's not easy on anybody. It's not easy on anybody that like it's hard on the person going through it, but I think it's
Right.
a lot easier on them honestly because it's hard to be that person watching your family have
go
to
through
go
that.
through that shit.
Yeah, that hurt.
And having to be the strong person twice over because one, you have to be strong through the cancer, two, you have to be strong for your family.
Exactly.
It's one of the fucking
You don't want to worry them.
dude,
You don't want to have to put them. through
cancer is
any
one
type
of the
stress.
hardest things on everyone around you, and it affects everyone.
Correct.
So yeah, no, like 100%, like Chadwick, like rest in peace, like
and
all condolences to your family.
family, everybody.
100%.
And it couldn't have come at like a worse possible time because earlier this week we also had Hurricane Laura kind of hit as well.
Yeah, dude.
And
was-
then-
And dude, there's the fires in
It's out of nowhere.
California right
Cali,
now too.
so it's almost like people can't catch a break.
2020 is
different,
tearing
bro.
shit up right
2020
now,
is
dude.
different.
It's tearing shit up.
I'm not a fan.
It's different, but I think for the most part, and I'm choosing my words carefully, we have to keep the people that we care about close and kind of don't take moments for granted because, you know, a week ago people were living on the coast and a few days later they had to leave everything that they ever knew behind. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like, yes, it does, and it's a tragedy. Me feeling other people's pain, it's kind of tough for me to sit back and watch that, like, you know, and everything is social media 24/7.
Oh,
it's like that's
people,
all you see.
You don't have any type of privacy. People gonna know everything. Back in the day, bro, we didn't have this type of like information at our fingertips like this. Like,
right.
now it's for you can have an opinion on anything. You can see anything that you need to. No one can really hide shit.
And Mike Tyson kind of spoke to that too. I read a quote earlier today. He said the internet, with the internet, you can't, like, people don't get a chance to get punched in the face. So, like, in other words, they can be keyboard warriors.
Oh,
and
hell
yeah,
say
yeah.
whatever it is that they want to say, you know, without any repercussions.
Of course. I'm gonna hide behind an anime Abby.
I think it's kind of it's like actually a really kind of crazy environment that it creates on different levels. Because on one end, it's like you have a big scandal that 15, 20 years ago might be the top story for a month. Like if the scandal ain't like crazy,
right.
like we're on to something else tomorrow.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
God forbid LeBron sprains his ankle. Like,
oh my God,
nobody cared about that scandal no more.
That'd
Like,
be front page news.
It's right. We're focused on LeBron's ankle.
and then a day after that, there might be an earthquake. We on that, and then we
Right.
on this, and then we on that.
We didn't
So
forget
it's
about
like-
what this person did.
So it's kind of like a weird environment where like
it's always something.
things happen in such short bursts of time, and it's like that's good for some things and bad for some things too.
Right.
But it's just like it's so much coming at people every
Do
day.
y'all think it's kind of hard for people to like mentally kind of like regain their, I guess, like lack of worry? Because like you just said, it's always something, right? Like one day it's a hurricane, next day it's this and that, and I kind of feel like it for people that kind of struggle with like anxiety and things like that, it makes it tougher on them to kind of
Oh, I definitely
So
think it makes it tougher.
suicide rates have gone through the roof during this time.
Yeah, like it's
Gone
definitely
through the roof.
depression's up there,
Yeah.
like alcoholism, like so many things that are like
Dang.
when you take somebody and
I've been
then
living
you don't
life in quarantine.
when
I'm
when
not
people
gonna
when you
lie to
take somebody and then all of a sudden there's these extra, like now they have extra constraints and there's like this isolation that happens. Like everything about our world is as isolated as possible. Stay 6 feet over there, you know what I mean? Like
right.
you stand behind that screen.
And how
like,
long is it gonna be
stay
that
at
way?
home? Like, and I think that's
Who
that,
knows?
that
Yeah.
that and
Yeah,
I think
who
that's
knows?
Scariest part, we don't even know.
that's one of the things that compounds on top of it. Is it's easy when it's like, all right, I know the end date. I just got to get through 2 months.
Right.
Right.
I just got to get through 2 months. I can do that. But when it's like, how long am I gonna have to do this? It creates a different level of like anxiety and fear and worry because it's just like fuck, it's been a taxing year. What if it's
Right.
2? What if it's 3?
And
what if it's 4?
And that's a very good point, but at the same time, that's why, and we've, you know, not to revisit this topic, but we always talk about, that's why, especially during this time, if you didn't find something to channel your energy in, it's like, what were you doing? Just like Zach said.
I mean, to bring that back to cancer too, it's like you don't know how much time you have, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So every
like
day
time
that
is
you have
against
is
you.
a blessing. So
Exactly.
you have to make the most of it. And if you're
Exactly.
not, you're wasting your time. What are you doing?
And I think it was, Soze made it a great point a couple weeks ago, but he pretty much said, you know, this whole pandemic, whatever you want to call it, has been a blessing, at least in our
We'll
lives.
call it a pandemic.
We'll call it a pandemic. It's definitely been a blessing as far as our group goes, because it gave us an outlet to kind of channel our energy and kind of give us
Facts.
a way to report on things, but not necessarily, you know what I mean, focus on those things day by day. It kind of serves as a distraction, but as a way to inform as well.
Yeah.
Which leads me to my first question for you, James, is so what kind of got you into wanting to start your own company? Was it something that you have always thought about, or was it something that you kind of just woke up one
Big
day and you
CEO.
were like, yeah,
Oh,
big,
The one
big,
and
big
only
boss
big
talk.
CEO.
Oh,
Let
okay.
him
Yeah,
talk.
we
Let
finna get
him
into it
talk.
now.
Let him
We
talk.
finna get into it
Let him
now.
talk.
Yes, sir. We
Um,
finna get into it now.
I'm gonna be honest. This is something that Soze and I have been thinking about for a long time.
Okay.
And it has manifested itself in an incredible way now, but this has changed 1,000 different times, has evolved 1,000 different times.
Okay.
So I have to be honest, like, we were just kind of like, we're putting a bunch of shit together and like trying to figure out what we were gonna do, and then you saying you wanted to do a podcast low key put us into a different mind frame where it was like, okay, let's get shit going. Like we got everything. What are we waiting for?
Right.
And so
yeah, I think just if you don't mind,
go ahead.
To jump in. Like I think sometimes it's
speaking
kind
to
of
the mic
like,
a little bit more.
I think it's sometimes like it's kind of like. Sometimes you have too many options, and it's paralyzing, right? So it's like
analysis
we
paralysis.
We want to do this, we want to do that, we want to.
You got to focus on one thing before you just travel out and just start doing whatever.
And it gets tough to like. So when KB comes in, he gives us a target, like something to focus on, like. It kind of helps once that settles, everything else kind of
take shape,
fall into place around it. But it's like when you get that first puzzle piece, right? You're able to kind of see what the next ones you need
and it gets easier
as opposed to looking for that first one.
Exactly.
Everybody does the borders of the puzzle piece first. So
I
gotta figure out where I'm about to go first.
It's how you build anything, right? Like house, you do foundation and you do frame. The foundation was there when he talks about we had everything.
Correct.
This becomes a frame. You know what I'm saying? And later, you had the sheetrock, you had the insulation, you had the electrical wiring, the TVs, the lamps.
And over time, it becomes a functioning.
Yeah, you dress it up.
Exactly.
But sometimes it's like, all right, what's that first nail I got to put down? What's that first screw I got to screw in? Like,
where
what's that
do
first
I start
board
and how do I start?
And so to his point, I think that was probably one of the biggest benefits of you bringing that to the table.
100%.
Correct.
100%. And so we finally have been like, this last month has been crazy. Bro.
It's been good.
It's been great to us. It's been great to us.
It's been crazy, dude.
It's been good.
Thank God, man. It's a blessing.
I finally feel like we're getting
July
something.
and August. July and August, I would say, because August
I feel like so basically.
I can't believe, what is it, the 28th?
Yeah.
It's the 28th, yeah.
So for those of y'all who don't know, my birthday's September 11th. I'll send you my Venmo. If
this guy here, bro. I'll send you my Venmo.
And your boy's born a week later, you know what I'm saying? Just in case you want to send me.
So my Virgo brother, Let's go.
But no, that's definitely great. And I remember we've kind of had this idea. Well, I've had this idea.
Happy birthday, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Happy birthday, I guess.
Thanks.
I hope I don't say happy birthday.
I've always had this idea I would say for the last 2 years at least. And I remember on 4th of July, we kind of came together and kind of laid down the foundation, like you said. And one thing that I kind of brought to James's attention was kind of like what you said with the house, but I kind of took it to like the car analogy. Like there's an engine, there's brakes, there's a steering wheel, and there's a transmission. You know what I'm saying? One can't work without the other. If everything works, then it's a well-oiled machine and it'll take you as far as you let it. But if not, then everything is gonna crumble before you even get a chance to get started. And that brings me to my next question. So with that being said, with you having this idea and me bringing that idea to the table, did you kind of feel at any point that like you were overwhelmed? Because I know at Streamhouse we do so much more than just a podcast. We have so much other things more coming. We do so much.
What is Streamhouse?
Did you ever?
Yeah, that's
the biggest.
What all does it include?
Streamhouse?
Yeah.
Okay, so Streamhouse was this idea that I had from seeing a couple of other different streaming platforms. Put this like FaZe has their own Streamhouse.
Correct.
And so they have their own group and their own pro gaming label and stuff like that.
Right.
So I had this. I had the opportunity to work for a summer camp that was for kids, but it was like a coding and gaming summer camp. So I got brought in. Yeah, dude. I got brought in to be the manager and basically teach these kids how to play games on a higher level. Hold
on, bro. So you came in like being the pro player, like coming in there and like
straight up.
On God,
straight up.
Okay, bro.
I am that's so elder.
Right, bro. He came in big ones.
MVP status.
So
all right, big nuts. You got it, bro.
So I was doing that for a little bit, and that was when I was taking care of moms.
Right,
and
right.
so when I was doing that, it was like, okay, this is something I've been like trying to do for a while, and now I finally feel like I got like a path. Like, oh shit,
right.
like we can take this
really,
to the next level.
This can be something.
And then something fell through where that place just ended up like not making it past summer. It just ended up being a summer camp, and they didn't make it past summer.
Right.
So I was like, how can I take that idea and expand on it and make it my own? And you know, one, I love kids, but fuck them. You know,
You know what I'm
Mike
saying?
Jordan said, "Fuck them kids."
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. So, you know, it's, you know, I wanted to do what I wanted to do. At the end of the day, I'm trying to be uninhibited in what I want to bring to the world. I want to
gotcha.
show my ideas uninhibitedly. And so how that has manifested itself is I turned my entire house into a stream house.
A literal
And
stream
I
house.
like
The
so
whole thing
I
is a
have
stream
5 or
house, people,
6
the whole
computers
thing.
in my house.
I mean,
and
like some people don't know, but like this room that we're in, it's like a studio now. Somebody used to live in this room.
yeah.
This, and then before that, this room was a garage.
Shout out to
Right.
Matt.
Like-
Shout out to
Scribs.
Matt, man.
Like with concrete on the floor and shit. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like there was
Right.
Hey,
a
no,
we
little
were-
shed.
no,
It was like a shed.
They really tricked this out. Like real talk.
My dad and I used to work out in this shed like 10 years ago.
You know what I mean? So,
and here it is tricked out. And
Yeah,
he
we got
made it into
guitars
a whole
hanging up
thing.
on the wall.
Right.
Soundproofing,
you know what I mean?
like-
Soundproof walls.
So, it's fun. Like, when did we start this idea? Dog, this idea has been evolving
It's
for
been-
years,
Right.
for multiple years. So having reconnected with Rob and having reconnected with Daniel and having all of these other people come in and like and Matt as well, Scribs.
Shout out Scribs.
Shout out Scribs, man. Like, can't wait for you to come back from Dallas. So like having reconnected with all of these and low key, like we had our differences too. We reconnected technically at one point.
That's good.
Right.
So having all of these people come together in a group that have the same motivation and have the same like will and ambition, even though we are all are kind of trying to like attack different areas,
Right.
that's kind of what Streamhouse is.
Right.
I want everyone to do what they want to do, and I want that to get out to the world.
Reach as many
Nice.
audiences
Yeah.
as possible.
And honestly, I want to show people how we're doing what we're doing.
Exactly.
That's like my mojo. I love being the
I feel
background
like that's
guy.
good. I feel like that's like a good insight. People can see like this, like how you're creating.
Yeah.
How this person's doing
And
this.
it
Yeah.
all like
How they-
funnels back
right.
to the central like nervous
Right.
system.
It's
Yeah.
a whole like umbrella.
Exactly. And that's what's interesting about what you said, how you and Pops used to work out in this same room 10 years ago. That kind of speaks to like your patience and your perseverance, because in the times that we live in, everybody wants everything now, like
Right. Oh, of
instant
course.
gratification.
Yeah.
Can you kind of speak to like just having that self discipline to like not give up and to like kind of see the bigger picture and not kind of think about the now and think about, you know, later?
So it's funny, dude. Like, I feel like everything I've ever done in my life, like I feel I've made huge decisions in my life. Like I've quit
Right.
football for theater. I have, and that was like I was like one of our best football players. No,
Wow.
not gonna brag on myself. But
No, no, no.
I
Talk
was
your
one
shit,
of our-
talk your
but I
shit.
was one of our
Cool,
best
cool.
football players in the school, and so it was a big move for me to quit
Right.
football to play theater or to do theater.
It's crazy.
And then
High School Musical type shit.
and I was like planning on going or staying at Stony Point because that was the school that was likely to win a state championship.
oh yeah.
I mean,
went to
shout
Stony
out
I
to
mean, we had
2013,
we,
Point
they-
High School.
we had literally
2013.
just gone to semifinals like 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So it was like, if I'm gonna do football, if that's gonna be my thing, I should stay at Stony Point. But I ended up making the big decision to go to Cedar Ridge. And it's funny,
Right.
all of those big decisions that I've made in my life have you know, I've questioned, and then as soon as I question those things, something happens where it's like I'm on the right path. Like
Right.
I'm doing what
This
I'm
is
supposed
good.
to be doing.
I'm good where I'm at right now.
Yeah. So like I moved out to California when I was like in 2015, and I moved out there to be an actor,
Right.
and it's fucking hard as shit to live out in California.
Oh, I
Of
bet.
course.
It's super expensive. You gotta fucking.
It's expensive as fuck, dude. I
It's
have to work
different.
2 full-time jobs. I remember when I got fired from my night shift job. We don't got to talk about that, but but when I got fired from my night shift job, like being like, dude, like, me and my girlfriend at the time were here. Like, how am I supposed to support us? How are we
Right.
supposed to support each other? Like, I don't have a job right now. And then the next day I found my TV salesman job. The next day it was like, this is so my job selling TVs, I basically fell in love with technology.
So that's
And-
where
Hold
your
on, this is
love
when-
from
this when you were,
technology
like-
really stemmed from.
It-
Because you
I
weren't
mean,
just a
I've always
salesman.
loved technology. I've always been like, my mom and dad, like all my family's always been like, how do you turn the TV on? How do you do
Oh
the
my
You just fucking replace the batteries in the back of the
My
remote
life.
and fucking.
fucking turn it off, turn it back on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, so I've always loved doing that. And so selling TVs kind of like really like exploded, if that's the right word.
Right,
Probably
right.
not, but really pressed that passion for me and made me like study what it was that I loved. So I like fell in love with technology, and from there, so I was trying to do theater, and I was like,
That's what I was gonna ask you.
this
Did
shit's
you
not working.
did
Right.
you ever feel conflicted at one point with like your theater thing, and then like okay, so
all the time.
all the time?
All the time.
Did you ever think that maybe one day you could like do both, or was it kind of something that like you knew that if you gave up theater, you would have to focus fully on your passion for technology, or how?
So
how
check
was
this
your
out.
mindset?
I've never done anything that you can't focus 100% on and do well.
I like that.
You everything that I've ever wanted to do, be a football player, like a pro football player,
Right.
be an actor.
You've always given it 100%.
You literally can't not give it 100%.
Gotcha.
So when you do, you feel it.
Right. Okay.
And so I was out there not able to give acting my 100% because I had to fucking make money
Exactly.
and work. And so suddenly I was like, this shit ain't work. Like I said, this shit ain't working. Like
Right.
like I'm drowning out here.
Right.
Fucking drowning. So so I started doing, I went back to like my passion of what I loved. I started playing Pokemon more and started going to Pokemon tournaments. Like
I
Pokemon
remember
is
you
the
telling me about
livest
this.
game
Hey,
ever.
he's serious about this. People.
No,
He's
facts.
serious about
Like,
this.
you
Facts.
don't-
My man will travel
This is
out of
heavy.
town to tournaments in
it's
different
not
cities.
like some people play the game or they run through the little gym leaders,
Right.
they beat the little guy at the end,
Right.
they shut it down.
Right.
None of the,
This
that's-
man.
no, I go to tournaments legitimately. It's the pro circuit, and they like, I mean, we make money off of this shit. Like, you don't make a living off of it, but you make a good chunk of
make
change.
money, right,
I mean,
right.
the world tournament this year, I think, was making like $100,000 for the, and like these are kids that can win this shit too.
$100,000
$100,000
For some Pokemans.
for playing Pokemon.
For some Pokemon.
for some
Hey.
Pokemon.
So anyways, when I was doing that, I started realizing that there was this need for streaming the tournaments. And I was like, you know what? I can be the guy that commentates and brings like my
the visible
laptop
to the.
and bring this and stream this to everyone that wants to watch these tournaments. We're in
Right.
California. We're in one of the biggest areas that has the highest competition. So
Right.
it's like I want to show that competition off. I want to show our area off. So I started streaming tournaments. Every tournament I went to, I would stream. I'd bring my own fucking TV. Shit was so like
was
yeah.
serious.
low tech back in the
You're
day.
right,
It was
right, right,
hilarious.
right.
I just had my fucking MacBook Pro. I brought that shit. It was hilarious, dude.
That's funny.
Just brought my little DS. And
Right.
fucking, yeah.
And just went at it.
And then I'd set everything up and I'd commentate and I'd have
Wow.
I'd pick a game that was like the high caliber game of that round, and
Oh,
I'd
wow.
commentate those guys, get them in for an interview afterwards. And
Favorite Pokemon game of all time? Go.
Silver, Pokemon
Silver.
Damn. Okay.
Mine's
Yeah, he
Fire.
was prepped.
Mine's Fire Red.
Wow.
Mine's Fire Red.
So Silver is just the most nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
I feel it.
No
So-
facts. That
Wow.
came out like in the late '90s, right, or like early
I
2000s.
think mine is leaf green.
Probably 2001, I think.
I didn't
Yeah,
enjoy
Leaf Green was fire, but I like Silver though because like didn't they dropped it with the release of like Pokemon 2001 that movie
Shit, I
with
don't
Lugia.
remember.
Yeah. But no,
That's
that's
fucking 20 years
Oh.
ago.
Right. Old as shit.
I mean,
I love
yeah.
Pokemon though.
it's still
Um,
such a
top tier.
classic though.
So I love Pokemon because it's given me a lot of like, it's taught me how to compete all my life. Like the whole basis of Pokemon is it's not just to it is right catch them all,
Catch
right?
them all. Yeah.
But
Facts.
you don't win the game by catching them all. You win the game by battling against other people.
And being strategic and
It's a chess game at the end of the
No,
day.
real
Pretty
talk.
much.
It's
So
real.
I mean, so like real Pokemon is a legit chess game. That's something that not a lot of people know. Some
Right.
people just think it's like, oh, fire versus water versus
Right.
no, it's
grass.
deeper
This
than
shit
that
is-
for
no,
sure.
there are numbers, there are stats, there's attack, defense, special attack, special
Mhm.
defense, speeds. Speed tiers are one of the biggest things that you got to know about.
So is that where your competitive drive like stemmed from? And when I speak,
I
when
think
I'm,
so.
When I'm speaking on your competitive drive, I'm speaking to like the patience again, wanting to like pursue something as big as Streamhouse. Like so, pretty much your passion for playing Pokemon and streaming it kind of like fueled that intense motivation and kind of self-discipline to kind of go after it, right?
So I'm gonna say it was probably football.
Okay.
Like I think Pokemon was something that I had like under my belt and then I hid for a little while because, you know, going to Stony Point and stuff like that, that's not something that you just naturally share with people.
Right.
No, yeah, facts. Facts.
Yeah, bro, I got
It's
a
a little
Pokemon
embarrassing
tournament.
if I'm going to be honest. I mean, it is. And so like being in such a tough crowd and at Stony Point, like that was one of the like toughest like schools I've ever been to.
Right. How do you think your move to LA kind of changed your outlook on what it took to really chase after what you believe in?
So I'm going to say not my move to LA, but my move from LA was what really changed my outlook. So when I realized that I was drowning out there in LA, I was like, I got to come back home. I had things going for me that just aren't happening out here back in Austin. And right at that time, my mom called me and she said, hey, I'm in the hospital right now. Like, I was like, she's supposed to come pick me up like 2 days later, and she's calling me like, hey, I'm in the hospital right now. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, she had cancer again, right? So that's bringing it back to Chadwick. It's like, dude, like I that's why I think it's so cool that I'm on today's show, because this is like, it really hits home like deep for me. Like back in 9th grade, my mom first had cancer and she beat the hell out of it because my mom's tough as fuck.
Right.
And then she got it again this time, and it was like she had been working for 30 years and she'd been like stressed the fuck out. And so coming back home and taking care of my mom is what really centered my focus on things. And this was actually right when my homie moved to Philly too, because he needed to recenter as well.
Right.
So it's like I came back to take care of my mom, and then I remember asking her, like, hey, like you being in the room, I remember talking to her and being like, hey, I got this idea for something that nobody's ever done, and this is going to be an incredible thing. I just need 2 years. I just need you to give me 2 years.
I just need 2.
Just give me 2 years. Wow. And then she passed away in like 6 months. And then from that, I was able to buy our house. So she's the fucking reason we're doing this. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I'm wearing this shirt right now, Strength Through Love. This is a shirt from my mom. Fuck cancer, fuck breast cancer. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, and rest in peace to Lynette Bernard Scott.
And rest in peace, Linda Moore, too.
Yeah, and rest in peace to anybody that has ever gone through cancer. That shit is hard, and I know it is. And I want you guys to know you're not alone. Everybody is affected. I don't think I know anybody that's not been affected by cancer. So, with that being said, we had that talk to her, and then I was like, I lost my way a little bit when she passed away. I was distraught. I was like, what the fuck do I do now? Everything I was doing was to give her a fucking a mansion to live in. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was doing everything for her. Right. So it was like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know why I'm doing this. You kind of lost your
purpose, if that's the right
1,000%. Okay. I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know why I wanted to do it anymore. Okay. So it took me a little while. I went and rescued my man from Philly. I'm gonna call it a rescue mission.
It was a rescue mission.
From Philly, bro.
Yeah, he came and got me.
You know what I'm saying? On the helicopter. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna call it a rescue mission.
Cause I was cooling, man. Like
you were chilling in Philly.
Like yeah, like it was to the point where like it was almost kind of scary, because it was like it got to a point where I was like, man, I guess that's just it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here, I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I guess this is gonna be what it is now.
Did you get complacent, kind of?
Not. I mean, I was still doing I was in the midst of like starting the whole battle rap career shit, and like I was still able to get some of those shots off out there. Not like I was able to do here, and I always kind of felt that in the back of my mind. I was like, this would be moving a lot faster if I was back in Austin, because I already had a foundation. Like we were talking about foundations. And like being out there, I was kind of looking at the landscape, and it's like, I mean, I'd have to rebuild that foundation,
the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, like in a.
So you didn't want to start over.
Not only rebuild that foundation, but rebuild that foundation in a more saturated region of the country for that shit. Like, there's a lot of people to do that out there. You know what I mean? It's a lot.
Same thing with LA too. There's a lot of people that moved to LA to be an actor.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, of course.
It's like,
of course. Somebody was actually talking to me today.
Everybody in Philly raps.
Move to LA. I was like,
everybody in Philly raps. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And a lot of them battle rap, like low key, like there's a lot of origins of battle rap in Philly, like a lot of old school things from like Philly's always been around. But yeah, and so like I was kind of falling into that complacency, like like to the point where I saw like
everybody else wanting to do it, so you were like, what are the odds?
More just like I saw like, oh, this is how easy it's about to be for 5 years, 10 years to go by.
Right.
Right?
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
No,
facts.
no, that's
It's-
real, and that's a
That's
real
deep.
deal.
That hit
That's
deep.
deep.
like it's like almost
I
like
feel that.
it's almost
Real
like you're
talk.
standing at the edge of a river with a strong current, and like you're kind of like, if I get in there, it's gonna take me. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and it's right there. Like I slip and fall, I'm in it.
It's gone. It's a
You know
wrap.
what I mean? And then it's a wrap. You're not getting out. And so when it was kind of like he brings the idea to me of like, I guess what this has. Originally, I think this is kind of what we always wanted to do.
Well,
We
dog,
just didn't know how to describe it
You were
yet.
we were supposed to go to New York together.
Yeah, it's been a lot of
New
things.
And then we
York.
were supposed to go to LA together.
And then
We've been through a shit ton, bro.
So y'all were a whole duo.
yeah.
yeah, and so we were supposed to like, this was something we always wanted to do.
Oh,
We
my
just
bad, my
didn't
bad, my
quite know how to describe it yet. And so he called me and he was like, all right, we have a unique ability to attempt to do this in a way that every other time previously we were not able to do.
Like
Right.
this is like this.
And-
we can make it happen
and
this
then
time.
and then that's when like that kind of hit me, because like I said about seeing that like river of complacency that's easy to fall into, I was kind of like, all right, it's either now or never. And like, do I want to get to the end of my life and say I never tried?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You can always pivot in life.
Right. You
That's
can
a
always
lesson
pivot.
anybody you
Facts.
can always pivot in life. Like if something doesn't work out, if something does work out, there's moves that can be made. But there's, for some things you gotta try.
Was there
And
a
if it-
fear of failure in that, or like was it
There's
more
always a
just,
fear of-
David out here saving lives.
I
James,
think-
sorry, James
I
out here
think-
saving lives.
But
My
like,
apologies.
did that quote unquote fear kind of deter you away from even wanting to
I think-
pursue that in the first place, or
I think there's always a level of a fear of failure in anything, or else like that's kind of motivation. Like that's kind of, I can't fail. Failure's not an option. That's
Right.
that.
so that's how you use that?
But
You-
that fear of failure creates that mentality that then creates motivation and
Okay.
and a want
I'm following
to
you.
work hard
I'm following you.
at something. And so yeah, that was there, but it was one of those things where it's like a guarantee was getting towards the end of your life or the end of your adulthood and being like, damn, I didn't even try, and I didn't want to be the guy that had to say that.
So I'm gonna be honest. So my fear is not failure. My fear is being successful beyond belief, and I don't know how to handle that shit. That's that Aquila and the Bee or whatever that
I
quote
feel
that
that.
quote is.
No,
you know?
Coach Carter.
Coach Carter.
Coach Carter.
Whatever.
Carter.
What is your deepest fear? It is not that I am inadequate.
Is
It's that I'm
that
powerful beyond all measure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With Timo Cruz. And
Yeah, yeah.
So
Coach Carter.
it's like
Aquila cool too. Aquila cool too. Shout out.
It's like-
Aquila.
He
it's
was
like-
a Viking. Yeah, facts.
you can be scared of failing, but like everybody fails at some point. I think I'm
Right.
scared of fucking being really successful and then failing, and then having eyes on me and then failing. You know what I'm saying?
Being
It's
in the
like,
eye of the public is a lot, bro. Every move you make is a.
it's like every move
something.
I've like
so
like I said,
scrutinized.
every move I've
It's
made
news,
up to
bro.
this point has shown me I'm on the right path.
On the right path.
I don't want that to stop.
And I think the reason why I personally don't think it ever will, and I don't think that we're too big to fail, but I just think that we have such a solid group of individuals that kind of, we think about the same end goal, but we go about it in 7 different ways
Yeah.
because there's 7 other people in the group. I think that as a collective, we can kind of prolong that if ever, you know what I mean? So, that's,
I mean, longevity is the most important thing in a
that's
business.
the
Oh,
name of
yeah.
the game.
Yeah,
That's the
and
name
I
of the
think,
game.
And I think to the point on longevity, it's like, and me personally, I'm a very like I think a lot. Like I'm very anxious. Like I'm
Analytical.
Because I'm analytical. I'm always like thinking like, and I think that fear of failure like is necessary for me. Like I know at least like for like battles and stuff, that fear of failure is like, what if this isn't enough?
yeah.
What if this isn't good enough?
Okay.
How much?
And
how
then,
much do,
and
how
then,
much time
but
do I
what,
gotta
but what
put
is
in?
that? But what that ends up creating is me practicing more to the point where I couldn't forget this shit if I tried.
Right,
Like
right.
to
It's
the
there, it's
point
already
of,
in your mental.
to the point of taking stuff that, you know, when we had OD on and I told him,
Mhm.
you know, like, don't get married to certain things, like,
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Don't
it's-
get tied up in one.
that fear of
certain thing.
failure allows me to make edits that I otherwise might have been too complacent or too confident to do that
Gotcha.
end up being for the better. Like, nah, this ain't enough.
And
I
that's
gotta
a-
change it.
And that's a great
And
thing
that's
to
that fear
have.
of failure.
But that also ties into like self-awareness. So the fact that like you're aware of yourself enough to realize that and acknowledge that is a big thing, because I feel like with people in our generation, like I said, everybody wants everything so fast that they don't look at themselves and they're like, okay, you know, this is what's keeping me this is what I'm doing that's keeping me from, you know, taking that next step. But the fact that you acknowledge that is a major thing.
We were talking about social media earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I also think like we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people.
Oh, of course.
You know, Wild not got
in
it
a
like
way
he
that
got
has
it.
never happened in
fact,
human
like,
history.
Ever.
Like I hop on 3 different apps and I can see like my friend's whole day. Right. Like you get on Facebook, I see their story.
But you know what?
You
People
get on
also
But you
feel
know,
like
you
they-
don't
their
see
story.
everything
In between.
else.
Right.
You see what they want you to see, how they wanna
Perceive
frame
themselves,
how they
yeah.
wanna frame that shit. So like, but it create you assume that it's every day. You assume that those are also the gaps.
That's
in
how
between.
people even make their
Right.
structure
And-
in this life is by trying to compete on social media. Some people just feel like social media, if they're not posting their life on social media, they're not doing anything
Yeah.
to nobody.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that level of competition on social media doesn't help you push to be better?
No.
though?
There's
'Cause I
always
feel that
a
way-
push. There's a push towards it, but it depends on how you digest that information.
Okay.
A lot of
Exactly.
people like to digest
Speak on
that
it.
information on different landscapes. Some people don't even know how to be in a relationship anymore, based
Okay.
on just going,
Facts.
based on
It's
just
not
seeing what's
real
on
until
social
it's
media.
Facebook
Like
official.
they can't be happy with a bitch doing something for them or a nigga doing something for them. Why? Because we're so used to seeing, oh, this person who fucked up and their life was so good.
Yeah.
I think
And we compare like Jada Pickett, like J. Cole. So I want that Jada Pickett, Will Smith. Look, well, August
Yeah.
Alsina was doing his job in there.
and I'll say
And you know, you
Yeah.
can't just and then what
a
is that?
fair
Is that
point.
gonna defeat like, well, not all love is real, or we can't find anything, or the other person
So
who's in this room,
so
they're
it's
gonna try to
kinda-
compare. Like,
so it's kind of like that gray
becomes
area
major.
where like everybody, you know, lets you see what they want you to see, and there's like that gray area of the stuff that we don't get to see, which is that struggle, which is
and I
the real them. You know what I
think
mean?
and I think that also can just like it can push some people,
Mhm.
it can stifle some people.
It can destroy
It'd be
people.
it'd be like you see a new basketball court, you want to try out in the morning. You know what I'm saying? You go get your little ball, you head down to the court.
Right.
You get in there, you dribbling, kind of you nervous and shit, and you start seeing motherfuckers dunk off the backboard
Right.
and shit, and you like,
I don't even want to jump in
yeah,
right now. This ain't
you're
even
like,
my time.
Now you talking to yourself like, all right, you know what I'm saying? This was dumb. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I ain't even nice like that. Like this
Right.
is stupid. I'm just gonna go home. But it's like you're not playing against them.
Right.
You don't have to play against them.
I
like
think,
you're not really competing with anybody.
Right.
It's
but
a-
yourself, you're not competing
it's
with
enough
anybody but
space for
yourself.
everybody. It's just how you
Mhm.
carve your space.
Right.
And another thing,
That's how you
though,
attack it.
I think that the biggest downfall of this particular generation of people is with the whole social media thing is that everybody wants validation from everybody
We have
else
too much
except
information.
themselves. Oh, yeah, we have way too much
No,
information.
that's a good
but
point. The validation is a
but
good
at the
point.
same time, it's like some people thirst for the validation of
I want
others.
the likes. I
Of
want
course.
the,
It's
Of
like
course.
it's like if I don't get enough likes or enough retweets on this post, I'm gonna delete it because I don't feel that was warranted.
It was
or that
a
was
miss.
valid. It was a
It was a
miss.
miss.
And
Yeah,
nobody-
I
it
didn't
was a
get as
miss.
much as I got on that one. I got to take this one off.
And the thing is,
Gotta put on different time algorithms.
Nobody wants to miss, and I think that's imperative in success is that you have to miss. There's gonna be misses. There's gonna
100%.
be missteps.
Like you
There-
learn the most from your failures.
Exactly.
Right.
Michael Jordan said it himself. He said, "I failed over and over again, which is why I succeed."
Yeah.
Because you take those lessons and you learn from them. But I think that's kind of a
It's just
characteristic that's kind of missing in a lot of people.
Well, and I think the people that stand out are the people that own the imperfections, right? So it's like people look and people see that and they look at it as perfect, like, oh, they doing everything right.
Right.
Oh, they doing everything right. No, they just literally owning
Who
themselves
they are, and you
owning
can't-
their
you can't
imperfections
see that.
and like yeah, I did this, yeah, that, like it was whatever. That's me. I'm gonna do what I do every day.
Right.
And then so for them it's a confidence, and then that confidence scares other people because they're like, I don't, you know,
that makes a person
'cause-
powerful.
'cause
Owning
now-
owning that.
it's like when somebody's trolling you and you own the troll.
Exactly.
It's kind of like I don't really.
You can't-
It's
you
not
can't
fun
beat
no
me.
more.
You can't
There's
beat
no
me
there's no
anymore.
fun no more.
Yeah,
Only
it's
I
gone
can
now.
beat me. Only I
Right.
can
It's,
beat
it's
me.
when they giving into the troll that it becomes trolling. Like when they really start getting pressed, when they really start getting agitated.
Right.
Kind of like,
You know what I'm saying?
Kind of
But-
like how Skip Bayless was like, was trolling Dame Lillard, and he came back for the next 2 games and dropped like 50 points.
Right.
It's kind of like, pretty much what you just
What
said.
about PG though? What's going on with him?
Man,
He actually had he had a good game.
He had a good game
He
last
had a
game.
good
Do
game.
they play tonight? Do we know?
I think they play Sunday.
They're tomorrow.
They're tomorrow.
tomorrow?
So who's playing?
The Blazers and Lakers.
Was-
is all
Bro,
that's left.
how are you supposed to play well when so many people are watching you and talking shit about you constantly?
And that's
Well,
why I
hold
respect the
on.
greats of the game.
Real quick check in on as the NBA turns. I can't get past the fact that in the Clippers Mavericks series, Paul George is at the center of this controversy, you know, with what he said about Luka, things about that. And, like, what people don't understand, Doc Rivers, who's Paul George's coach, Paul George used to date Doc Rivers' daughter.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
He cheated on that daughter with a stripper.
Who ended up becoming his baby mama.
Yeah, facts. And then that daughter, Doc Rivers' daughter, Paul George's coach, his daughter ends up getting married to Seth Curry, who plays for the Mavericks. And so there's this, like, now
it's an entanglement in the
bubble. Especially when the Mavs started winning and they're the 8th seed. It was just like, yo, what is going on with this? Like, it's a whole soap opera. Out here.
I didn't know that? Bro, I didn't know any of this, bro. I'm over here shook.
It's a whole 90210 episode.
Bro, it's really...
It's a whole... It's a lot of drama.
Is this comparable to future fucking Scottie Pippen's wife?
I don't know. It's just...
It's not as bad.
Well, no, it's funny because
Scottie Pippen apologized to his wife for getting fucked by Future.
They had that highlight.
Wait a minute. What did she say?
He literally apologized to his wife for getting cheated on. He was like, I apologize.
I wasn't enough.
I wasn't exactly on some simp shit. Like,
bro, you're lying. Please stop.
No, that's a true story, bro. That's fact.
Oh,
but
man.
yeah, so
that's why Scottie Pippen will never be
shout out to the
what everybody thinks he is, because that nigga.
So when Seth Curry like made that little layup, and then he looked at Paul George like bitch ass.
Yeah.
Right after Paul George had said bitch, it was layers.
Yeah. It got personal.
It was layers.
It got personal.
And I took that personal.
He damn near he damn near hit him with like the Tupac. That's why I fucked your bitch. You
motherfucker.
Get money. Like if somebody put that over that clip, that would be crazy.
Yo,
man.
So you think the series is over tonight?
I think the series is over. Blazers are up by 5. It's 55-50, and it is the second quarter.
But Zach called Blazers in 5.
I mean, I said 6 way back when, but it's definitely over.
Either
it's
way,
definitely over.
It's
all the first round series are over.
Blazers are gonna try to have like this little charge up. You know what happens? Third, fourth quarter, Lakers are gonna come back. It's gonna be cute.
I think
for the
Denver
Blazers.
Nuggets is still like competitive, but it's over for them because they're not winning the next round anyways.
Wait a minute. What is it? 3-1, 3-2?
Something.
I
Like
think
that.
it's 3-2.
I think that one might actually go.
I
7.
want the Nuggets to win.
One thing.
I like the Nuggets.
I like the
too.
Nuggets.
I like the
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
I love
but
the Joker.
the Lakers in 5 in the NBA Finals, bar none, hands down.
It's a wrap.
That's so surprising.
They're gonna win the championship. It's a wrap. It happened.
Tell me more. Who's gonna
wait? What about this whole closeout thing that they did?
Yeah, did you guys
for the protest?
Well, first of all, it's kind of me and you were kind of talking about it the other day, so it's really I don't want to say it's very significant. Because at the end of the day,
everyone's talking about it.
Everybody's talking about it, so it gets everybody's attention. So I kind of agreed with the teams that kind of didn't want to resume play because.
Is it significant enough?
Well, I believe that by stopping play and going out into your community and kind of, leading the charge as far as change, I respect that 100%. But at the same time, I felt like players were conflicted because they felt like if you were to stop playing instead of continue to play, then they would kind of lose their platform to
But same token with that, bro.
You're on TV every day, like
you're
in
on
interviews, like you actually have like that. The counterpoint was that they actually have a major platform right now.
Exactly, now more than ever.
But so what did they give up by just giving a day or two of ball off? You know what I'm saying?
But some people can't live with. They were going to talk about
honestly, the attention,
season.
they garnered a lot of attention that.
But what if they would have just left the bubble?
That's what I said they should have done if they really wanted, because you leave the bubble, it's 2 weeks automatically.
And that's an entire
companies have to refigure out how to do this again.
Want to know why? Because those, at the end of the day, those big companies only care about that bottom dollar. So by taking away the product, which is said players, if they were to all leave the bubble,
so it's not going to miss out money for their own communities and shit like that.
I think it's two-part. I think one, there was that need to want to go out and do it. There are also still basketball players who want to win championships, and we can't fault them for that. That's right. They spent their life doing that. But I think they knew that would make it over. Like if they leave the bubble, it's over. And I think they really just wanted to talk about it, because when you look at how it happened, a lot of what some teams' frustration was that we didn't talk about it before. We didn't develop a plan. The Bucks said we're not playing on their own, which forced our hand. Because if we do play, we look crazy.
Does it make it any less significant by having to follow suit and not?
I think it does. I think it does and it doesn't. Obviously, it doesn't because what happened, but I think it does because some people had said if we had just talked before and we were able to approach it with a plan that has a win condition, that has something we want to execute, it could be more effective. Now we've kind of jumped the gun.
ourselves,
We
yeah.
jumped the gun a little
I
bit
felt like they
because
could've
y'all
just kept on
backed out.
playing.
Y'all backed out. Now I can't back out. Like, how does Orlando look, or how does Miami look if they're like, well, we're still playing?
Well, no, when
You
they were
know what
making
I
that
mean?
whole front,
Exactly.
I believe like you have to follow suit. Like I feel like you like you said, you mentally have to do it.
And I think it's
feel
like, now
when
we're
they were
here with
talking
no
about
plan.
discontinuing the season, I feel like you already have that platform. There's Black Lives Matter
On the
plastered
court,
on there.
the pl-
You have your own jerseys made.
I mean-
you made the bubble a platform for people to
Yeah.
watch and look at.
We have-
Yes, discontinuing the season will be something major and it's gonna hit, but every single time something like this pops off, there's always going to be the reoccurring structure of how long, like what, how powerful is that going to be for our community at the end of the day?
We have
when
Black
you ju-
Lives Matters flags in Madden 21 right now.
Yeah.
we have every single EA game that I've
EA
played
ga-
Two K,
tells
fucking
you
Apex,
like, has
Apex.
a
COD,
title on
2K,
it that
they all
tells
did
you
stuff.
some shit about it,
Which is
like
big.
before you can play.
Which
but
is
what is
big.
that doing though?
And
It-
that was my question, is like, what does at the core of it, at the core of the problem,
You can only
does
do
that
so
really,
much.
It's creating conversations.
It creates conversation.
like the one we're having right now.
So
And,
then
and
it
the
works.
more people that are having that conversation,
it grows and it grows.
point
But-
blank period is better
so
than
it's kind
nothing.
of like a domino effect.
Of course, but it also needs to happen in order for
It
it,
needs
to
that
be like,
momentum.
Yeah.
okay,
So how much do you have to
something's
talk
happening.
about something for
And
action
before it
to
happens,
happen?
before action happens?
Well, and
That's a
that
great
goes
point.
and that goes back to them wanting, like, some people feeling like this would be better if we had a plan. Now I know that there's some people in the players union that have they've created organizations within the NBA for social justice outreach and stuff like that. They have now turned every NBA arena into a voting station for, and then
Oh,
they
wow.
got so every arena is gonna be a voting station now. They got every NBA player in the bubble registered to vote. That was one thing they stressed in their meeting. They got every
Okay.
NBA player in the bubble registered to vote.
Okay.
They're opening up ad.
Okay,
I mean,
do something.
okay.
Yeah.
They're opening up ad spots in the game to allow for, I don't want to say commercials, but
Right.
like for things that spread
PSAs,
that message,
PSAs.
PSAs. That,
Mhm.
I
that
mean, yeah,
spread
they have
that
it on the
message,
back of
ads.
their fucking jerseys.
Yeah.
Right,
bro.
and
Yeah,
we look
but-
at that.
so-
all
so
that's
during the game.
huge.
Yeah, that's
So
big.
and that's something that they were able to kind of do. Like, all right, well, let's get something out of this, and they did something. And that's where I think if they had a, like, they're gonna do more. There's always gonna be things that you can keep doing as long as you keep that pressure, you keep applying pressure, you keep things going. But at the very least, people gotta be talking about it.
And that's
Of
why
course.
that's why
At the
I
very least.
absolutely love the NBA, because you look at a league like the MLB or the NFL.
I mean, the NBA had no choice.
The NBA, well, they did have a choice.
There's too many black
At the end of-
people. Black
that's
people run
true,
the
but
NBA.
at the end of the day-
there's no way they're gonna say
But
no.
at the end
to
of the
not
day, the
supporting that.
commissioner always has a choice to either shut that shit down or listen to its players, which is the product.
They had no choice but to listen to their players.
Otherwise,
NHL is
otherwise they were
doing
gonna
it?
miss out on.
Right, NHL isn't doing it. Why?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they did.
They are?
had a
When?
2-day. They had a 2-day break.
When?
Yes, they did. Just now. They're
Just
not playing
now?
tonight.
Yeah.
No, they
No,
are playing
all I-
tonight.
all I
They
heard-
didn't
all
play
I heard-
Thursday and Friday.
All I heard from the NHL at this time was that there was a black player who did say, "Wow, it's crazy how the NHL hasn't done anything." Now I haven't paid attention
and
to them.
then
I'm
they
just
didn't
saying.
play for 2
so
days.
okay, so they haven't played for 2 days.
Correct.
That's awesome. You educated me. So
I
thank
got you. I'm the hockey guy. You can't talk shit
Okay,
about my
cool,
sport.
cool.
Like,
I'm
and-
just saying.
and as
Hey,
far
But
as,
at
like,
the end of the day, though,
let's-
that's why I was saying I love the NBA, because it's so progressive and it kind of gave its players.
It's definitely
a
the most
platform.
progressive.
But I was asking earlier
sport.
about like
100%.
does following suit like make it less impactful, because we did follow suit.
right.
I'm gonna be honest. NHL
course.
did have to follow suit.
They have to, because it spreads. You're gonna be that
I
company
feel like that
looks
makes it more
weird.
impactful.
And you're
Okay.
right. You're right. It,
It
does
makes it
make
more
it
impactful.
I think
impactful,
it's
but I'm
based
just-
on intention. Are you
Mhm.
following suit to follow suit, or are you following
Because
suit
you
because you
genuinely care.
also want?
How do you show
Just-
either or?
I think
Just
take
by the attitude.
attitude and action.
Action.
You know, attitude and action.
Actions speak
like
louder
we were
than
saying
words
with
at the end of the
NBA
day.
turning stuff into polling arenas. Like,
Its actions speak louder
why
than
not?
words.
Why not do things like that? Figure out how you could do something like that. Anything is something right now.
Right.
You know
And
what I
at
mean?
the end of the day,
And-
Fair enough.
during a pandemic, I love to see all these sports leagues kind of, because there's nothing else to do but watch sports and fuck
Uh-huh.
off.
Of course.
I love the idea of what they're doing in order to bring attention to a bigger issue that's bigger than sports, that's bigger than the players themselves, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
And they
so.
reiterate it every single game too. They're saying they're here playing, but they're not just playing for themselves.
They
They're
talk
playing
about
for a bigger
the
cause.
plays for a
Also,
business cause. They
when
talk
you-
about Breonna Taylor all the time.
Also, when you think
about
about-
for her.
when you think about who owns these sports teams, these aren't like former like players or coaches. I mean, maybe sometimes, but like these are people with a lot of money and a lot of influence and a lot of power in their local cities.
So, but bringing it back to that though, like
politicians.
we've talked about Breonna Taylor constantly, and nothing's happened.
You have to. You know what? All you can do is sit here and keep doing it. All you can do is keep on raising awareness. This is it. I mean, what power? What power can we even have at this point? All it is that we have the internet to our expense at this point. People have no choice but to keep on paying attention to it. At some point in time, it happens for us.
It's going to collapse on itself, and they're going to have to bring justice.
They're going to have to bring justice to it. We don't even have it yet. We're still here. We're still here. Nothing has changed, and all we can do is keep on bringing awareness to it. Yeah. This is how. I mean,
it's a lot of systemic racism and bullshit.
Black people can only go so far
to break down
in this whole thing. I'm a black man sitting right here in front of your face, talking about it right now. This isn't gonna mean shit. It's gonna go past. You gotta go out in the news. It's gonna last for like 2 days. It's gonna hit for a little bit, and then it's gone.
Pause. Q. I disagree with you. It does mean something because us as people who all grew up together.
I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying like we can sit here and keep talking.
But you did say that, and I quote that it doesn't mean shit. I'm saying that it does mean shit.
The information goes past. We get the information here. It happens. Yada yada yada. Just like what he said. Something else gonna pop up in the news.
Right.
Am I right? And then that's just gonna go past. And here we are again. Breonna Taylor still haven't got justice, and we're still here right now talking about it.
I think you gotta start small and like build out. You gotta get informed with local politics and decision makers. You gotta change. You gotta vote locally to put people in position that can make small changes. That'll then trickle out and put people in bigger positions that can make bigger changes.
Right.
That'll put people in bigger positions that can make bigger changes.
And that's
gonna take a while. You got term limits. You got some people that serve life terms. Like especially in the Supreme Court, it's a lot of life terms.
And it's
a lot of people that are in there.
And as far as people that are like in our age group that don't necessarily have a voice, I kind of feel like one of the genius things about Streamhouse is because we are able to have these kind of educated conversations and kind of, help other people kind of see our point of view, because at the end of the day, we all agree on the same things.
Of course.
And I feel like that's what a lot of people don't really see. You know what I mean?
No, at the end of the day, we don't all agree on the same things. But it's like,
well,
but it's okay that we don't.
We don't.
Yeah, but we don't though. We don't, and it's okay that we don't. Everyone's entitled to have their own opinion, and we don't have to just because we argue or have a conversation or debate. I feel like there's so many people that like have arguments and disagree, and then just like.
No,
they'll automatically just stop. They'll exit them out and not give them a chance, not give them the floor.
In terms of social justice, we all more or less agree on that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what I meant. But
my bad.
No, you're fine. But I mean, to what you were saying after that, you're absolutely right. But yeah, I just think at the end of the day, us as people need to keep having these educated conversations, and it's dope that we gave ourselves a platform to kind of do that. And also, like I said, my end goal is to just give people, give them something to watch or something to do on weekends, instead of looking on another outlet and seeing nothing but negativity. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we're able to have these conversations, and I think it's really fucking dope. So
yeah, I mean, I as wanting to have been an actor before, as wanting to have been a football player before, I want to be an entertainer. I'm trying to entertain people and bring happiness to people.
Oh, facts. Same.
But
and that's what
we were saying about facts. And like we were saying about like the NBA and stuff, they have the platform for Black Lives Matter. That's what I'm trying to do for us.
Right.
Give us that platform for us to speak up on bigger things.
And Streamhouse is like a Swiss Army knife. Like we do so much more than just a podcast. So David, can you kind of James, I apologize. See, for those that are listening, I get so caught up in.
You do this every time to this man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I do. But James, just kind of explain. What else does Streamhouse have to offer other than just podcasts? I know that we have something launching really soon. Can you kind of touch on that?
So, kind of talking a little bit about like. What we're about to launch
which is really big for those who are into.
We are about to launch our next channel, which is Streamhouse Gaming. It's an extension to what Streamhouse is doing.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. So this is basically what Streamhouse is in its rawest form is that
Right.
we have all of these different sections in the house that that are all linked up together that we can
But that specialize in certain areas.
gaming in this area,
These
music
boys
in
are
this
running
area.
Madden.
Podcast.
Heavy.
Hey, yo, by the way,
We'll get into that a little bit
right,
more.
right. I got a lot to
a
say
little
about
later.
that.
Boys
So
here,
this
man.
next
We-
week we are
yeah.
going to be having a gaming podcast in the middle of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, and we will.
You're
And we're planning on playing some Madden, and so like that's kind of getting into that a little bit. Like Robert and I are like legit Madden players. We're
Right.
trying to.
oh y'all are serious. I know. I
yeah,
seen it.
we're trying
seen
to
it.
we're trying to like win a belt.
KB, not so much.
KB, I heard you're trash, bro. They really
I'm
be getting
trash?
on your head.
I'm trash?
They really be getting on your
Okay,
head.
okay,
I
pause.
see it.
Smoke
Pause.
KB
Pause.
last
KB
night.
needs
You're
a little
smart.
bit
He
of
said you got
direction.
Nah,
smoked.
fuck
Fuck your
that.
head
21
top
to
right
0.
now. I have never in my
It was
lifetime.
21 to 0.
21 to 0. You're putting your
He
sunglasses
quit.
on.
He quit.
He quit.
He
He's
definitely
out.
quit.
He's out, and that's the end of the podcast.
First of
guys.
all, first of all, I was shout out to my boy Lack. He's running the soundboard tonight.
Yes, yes. Yo,
I
shout
asked-
out to Lag, by the way, my boy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
He's also going to be one of the main people doing the Streamhouse Gaming podcast and also
Shit, he
doing
launched it. It's his.
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. So major shout out to Lack and but long story short, I did whoop that ass last night in Madden, my dude. So
So he
I'm
defaulted.
not-
Hold
Oh,
on.
man.
He defaulted to a game that he won by 7 points.
I beat him 21.
Refusing-
I beat him 21-0.
Refusing to
I
mention.
skunked him.
No, you
I
were up,
didn't.
you were up 21-0.
I'll be honest. I did give him a little too much information, and Daniel was
Well, that's your
overloaded
fault.
Oh,
with
that's-
football talk.
Yeah, but you
Ah.
were up 21-0, and then he came back. It was like 21-14.
But who won though? That's all I want to know. Who won? Who won? Who
Okay,
won?
Who's
I
gonna
get-
win tonight
who-
though?
But
I
then who
will.
won? Who won in our game?
I got 20 on James, bro.
won.
He really talking shit.
See,
right now.
but I was just saying you defaulted to the game that you won, and you didn't really talk about how I blanked you. You know what I mean? It was 21-0.
I mean, I was
all right. We're-
leaping over
If you
players.
don't
So
box
let's bring it
after
back
this.
to the people that actually play Madden. So we're trying
exactly because
to.
I don't even really.
Yeah,
Which
play
is
like
fine,
that.
Y'all
which is fine.
suck at Madden.
But I don't. But continue.
But
I don't. But
you
continue.
don't suck. You're just not as good as anybody else.
What does that
We
mean? That
just
means
do
I
this.
suck, my dude.
We just do this.
Take it how you want to take it. I don't know.
Yo, bro, I'm dead right now.
All right. So, anyways, we've been playing
I fucking
Matt like
hate all
competitive
of you.
Madden for about a year now, and just kind of like are like really Goof, me, and like Jamie over here, like Robert. We're pretty heavy gamers, bro. Like we game real hard. So bringing that back to the stream house is that we have a bunch of different sections where we can each do individual streams, gaming, and then we could have somebody else. They all connect to the same computer. We have stream decks connected all over the house, and everything links up. So anybody could connect from one to the other.
And
Or
just start doing their own thing.
everything.
Streamhouse gaming
Wow.
is the next big thing. For sure.
Yeah, so like, and basically what we're trying to do is bring people in. So if you want to do something like that,
Right.
come on in. We have this station over here for you to do that.
Me and Robert plan on playing Final Fantasy 7, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. I
We
heard
still
that.
need to have that
Or no,
Mario
you
Kart.
and Daniel. You
Daniel,
and
sorry,
yeah.
Daniel.
We
I
also-
said Robert
yeah.
Daniel.
Are we still gonna stream that best of Streamhouse tournament?
Absolutely. So we're
Okay.
also going to
My
be
bad.
doing this thing. I've had this idea for a little while since the summer camp
Right,
too.
right.
This head-to-head competitive idea. Who is the best video gamer?
Like a Grand Prix.
A Grand
Right,
Prix,
overall.
and it's like we play a bunch of different games. Everybody picks their own game, which they're obviously going to be best in, and then we'll all like pick a
Anybody
game
can see me in Smash, Street Fighter.
No, I'll fuck you up at Smash.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you
Street
talking,
Fighter,
Melee?
You
Alright.
You
niggas
talking
are
Melee?
complete.
Project M.
Project,
any of
I will
those.
beat your ass, bro.
Any of those. dog.
Wow.
I will
Alright.
slaughter you. You
I'm
got the
taking a
Switch
big
too?
L in
I
that
might-
game.
Who's
The
your
talk?
main? Who's your main?
That's an auto L for me.
And
Who's your main? Tell me right now.
Fox.
Oh, you fucking
Captain
bitch.
Falcon is mine.
That's cute. That's cute.
and
I'm a
Samus.
Mars
I
main.
said
Zero
Fox,
Suit
and he was like,
Samus.
"Oh, he's serious."
I mean,
Dead ass.
Zero
No,
Suit
because I already know you got the shield shit down. You're not about to tech chase me. I already know about the wave
Oh,
dash and shit.
shit.
You're not gonna get me, bro. I'm really into short hopping, all the other stuff
said
you
you're
doing,
not
try
gonna-
to get me into the combo.
What is it?
Not today,
Tech
bro.
Chase? I don't know, but
Yeah,
that sound like
it's
he knows.
serious.
Okay,
and
but
you're not
you-
gonna do
Tech
me.
chase.
But you know how Soze just kind of called me out on deflecting my little shit? So remember when I brought up fucking Mario Kart? This nigga was silent. He didn't say shit about that and deflected to fucking Smash. So really, he's trash at Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. I play Toad and I'll
You know what
beat
I
you.
mean?
You're a child. Every day I wake up knowing I'm gonna beat you in Mario
we gonna
Kart.
See. We gonna see.
Talk
All
is
right, kid,
cheap,
I will
fellas.
put
Talk is
I will
cheap.
put
Talk is
$20 on my game.
Hey, look, I caught a dub last night.
$20.
I'm ready to catch another one.
All right. Well, so before we start wrapping things up, because I feel like that's where things are going. Let's do the
Okay,
giveaway.
so a few weeks ago we did announce a giveaway just to show our love and support to the people that support us. It took a while, so we apologize for the wait, but we do have our two winners.
That's mostly my fault too, guys. I'm sorry. I'm the CEO. That's all me. That's on me. I'm
But
sorry.
it's okay because
Blame James.
You know things.
I accept.
Things happen, but we stuck to our word, and we do have two winners that I will announce live. The first winner.
Let's go.
The first winner. Can I get a drum roll,
Let's
please?
go.
Our first winner of the $50 gift card Amazon giveaway is Bree Walker. Shout out to Bree.
Hey! Let's go, Bree.
Just to
Come and claim your pride.
Bree, step up and claim your prize. But Bree's been a day one supporter. I know you know Bree as well. She's a great friend of ours here at Streamhouse. She's been supporting us from the literal start. So we appreciate you, Bree, and we love you.
Yeah, she's dope.
Thank you for entering in the giveaway, and congrats. And then
Appreciate you.
And the second winner, can I get a drum roll, please? Is Anna.
Okay. Anna.
Hey.
Congrats, Anna. You are the second winner of the $50
Bree and Anna.
Amazon gift card giveaway.
Bring
Shout out
Anna.
to Bree and Anna.
Brianna.
Thank you, Brianna. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. I will personally reach out to you guys after the stream is over just to kind of get y'all's information so we can get that out to you guys. But dope conversation. I'm glad that we had you on tonight, my boy.
Bro, I appreciate you.
Oh,
Thank
man,
you so
for
much.
sure. Streamhouse, we want to thank you guys for all your support. Shout out to
I was
Live.
about to jump in. I was like,
Yeah, yo, you left my boy hanging.
I had to wait. I had to wait in line. I was like third in line.
I didn't even know.
You see the hostility?
Don't be like
You know what
No,
I mean?
I was waiting for it, but it was three, and then I'm like,
You know what I'm saying? Some wires got crossed, you feel me?
it's always
Wow,
something.
man.
But,
I
I
um,
do so much for y'all, bro.
So you gotta be perfect out here.
Yeah, you got to be perfect out here in these streets.
Stuff they scrutinize every move.
Wow.
They
But,
scrutinize every move, man.
man,
Appreciate
it's-
those boys on the soundboards. That's
Yes.
Robert Ross.
Hey,
That's
Black
Daniel
and
Black
Robert,
right there. Appreciate
For
you guys.
sure. Streamhouse Gaming will be launching soon for anybody that's interested in gaming.
This week.
The podcast will be continuing every Saturday once we get a solidified schedule on the gaming thing.
Yes, sir.
We will keep you guys updated and let you guys know. But from me to James, Soze, and everybody at Streamhouse, we want to thank you guys. We will be back next Saturday. Be on the lookout for the update on the Streamhouse Gaming. But until then, baby, we finna go watch these NBA playoffs. Streamhouse out, man. Thank y'all for watching us, man. We love y'all. Let's get it.